Monday night to get a win at Raymond James Stadium. Our guys are looking forward to this week, kind of a dress rehearsal for our team, and I would imagine for Cleveland as well. And our guys are looking forward to just building on some of the momentum that we gained from our game on Monday night. We had a good day of practice yesterday, and with the cloud cover that we have today, that should help also for us to have a fast practice. And, so guys are kind of chomping at the bit to get back to practice and just keep working to improve. And we have a lot of reasons to work hard to continue to try to work to improve. So.
Coach, I know it was just a preseason game, but the way that you guys played, particularly in the first half, holding them under 50 or 60 yards, whatever it was, obviously that's the vision you guys probably had coming into last year. Was that your most complete game and the best game of what the vision was when you and Lovie got here?
Well, you put it in perspective, when you consider, it's still the preseason, but there were so many positives that happened in that ball game, the takeaways, the pass rush that we had, the way the guys played fast. So it was really encouraging, and you like to develop some consistency going forward. And this ball game, the starters will play a little bit longer, so you hope to build on what happened on Monday night and then carry that on through September 13th and throughout the regular season.
Leslie, how much more is Lovie going to be involved in play calling on the defensive side this year than he was last year, as you perceive it now?
There were times a year ago where there'd definitely be communication on the headsets, and it won't be any different this year. He's going to be heavily involved, as he always has been, with our defense, and he's going to do the majority of the defensive play calling. And it really doesn't change my role from a year ago. It really doesn't. And my role is to come in and help our defense and help them prepare for every ball game and help our team to win. So it really hasn't changed anything that I have to get done. But,
how do you feel about that? That's an important role for a defensive coordinator to call plays. How do you feel about the fact that Lovie's going to take over the majority of the play calling?
Well, I'm excited for it because I think his background and this is the defense that we installed is the one that he ran in Chicago. So it should be good for our defense, good for our team. And, I think we're all looking forward to just continue to build on the momentum that we have from this off season and also what we gained in that ball game on Monday night.
Leslie, with Quan at Mike, a rookie linebacker, I noticed that he's got the communicator, the green dot, if you will. How has he done? How did he do the other night, on Monday night?
Ricky had his moments, being a rookie and really getting his first start at middle linebacker, a little bit up and down at times, but we know there's going to be some of that where, you're going to look and say, what was that? But the more he plays, the better he's going to get. He's shown in practice, and even in the one preseason game he had prior to our game on Monday night, that he flashes the things that you look for in a middle linebacker. His leadership, his study habits, where he prepares, and then his athletic ability as well. So as he plays, he'll get better at what we're asking him to do, and we think he's going to turn out to be a good middle linebacker for us.
Is this something you in a perfect world, you want your Michael linebacker to be the guy, the quarterback of your defense? Mm-hmm. Are you committed to that, or are you just kind of like, let's see how he does in the preseason and go from there?
Yeah, I don't know if you could completely say at this point, when we line up on September 13th, that he's going to be the one that's relaying all the calls and making all the checks. You still have Levante out on the field.
Yeah.
And, he did that for us at times a season ago, so I could easily see that still being the case, at least early on. But we'll see. We'll see how Quan progresses.
Leslie, you've been around a lot of guys like Danny in terms of, maybe in a combine his numbers wouldn't be spellbinding, but Leslie, the guy always seems to be in the right place and making disruptive plays. You've been around guys like that?
Oh, yeah.
That have a knack?
Yeah, he's one of those guys. You're right, Ira. Just look at his short history here. Even just going back a season ago, the number of big plays he made for us, scoring touchdowns, getting interceptions, and Hardy Nickerson has a saying for him. He says, "There goes that man again," because he just seems to have that knack that you mentioned to come up with big plays at the right time. And it's a great story when you look at his background and see where he is now. Just gives you a great idea of the importance of not giving up on yourself. And he's fought through a lot of things, and he's overcome a lot. And he's a pretty good football player. And I think more and more people are beginning to take notice of that.
Leslie, early in camp, you talked about having some concerns about the depth at cornerback. That's why probably had kept Sterling Moore there quite a bit. Now that he's at nickel, who are the lesser guys that have shown you something as you try and think about who would be your third and fourth cornerback?
Well, Greg, I think it's still kind of up in the air to a degree. You know, we've had 2 preseason games. I think this third game hopefully will help define it a little bit. Unfortunately, losing Leonard means that Sterling has to play more at the nickel. He was a guy we were kind of pegging for, a guy to compete for that 3rd or 4th spot. Now that means Mike Jenkins has to stay healthy for us and just keep improving. We got some other young guys that we're working with. We want to see Brandon Dixon continue to improve as well. So, you know, it's still kind of in flux in a lot of ways. There's nothing definitive when it comes to our 3rd or 4th corner at this point.
Coach, safety play has changed a lot since you were in the league and even since John Lynch was here. It looked like DJ Swearinger brings a little bit of that intimidation factor, or at least he did on Monday night. Could you talk a little bit about him and his ability to have that factor without drawing the penalty flags as well?
I mean, that hit he had near the goal line, that was impressive, to jar the ball loose without seeing those yellow flags come out. I mean, you don't get hits like that in today's NFL very often without a flag coming out and eventually a letter in the mail. So it's a great job by him understanding the rules and then, you know, leading with his shoulder versus his head. But he's one of those guys who kind of gives you an idea of what the NFL is becoming when it comes to the safety position, ability to go out and cover tight ends in space, and there's some very good athletic tight ends in our NFL today, but yet can play in the box as well and tackle. He's one of those guys who has all the ingredients you kind of look for in today's safety. He's a smart football player as well, and then he can really hit you, evidenced by what we saw on Monday night. So it's a good pickup by our guys to get him on our squad, and we're looking forward to watching him play on Saturday night and just see how he does and just see if it warrants a greater look from our part regarding him.
Leslie, you guys are always emphasizing taking the ball away and that kind of thing, and stripping it. But it almost seems like there's more of an emphasis, like we're almost reprogramming these guys this year to really focus in on that. And we just saw, all through training camp, the whistle's blowing, guys are still swiping at it. Is there a little bit more of an emphasis this year, Steve?
I don't think so, Roy. I think it's more, being together for a year and understanding the importance of it, and it's something that's been drilled over and over throughout a season ago. But now you come back a second season, you're going to hear the coaches talking about taking the ball away. You expect that, and then you practice that way. So I think it's more guys having the experience in the system and understanding what the coaches are kind of looking for, and they've taken to that, and evidenced by what you saw in practice, and it's showing up so far in the ball games. And hopefully, when the real thing begins in September, it'll continue and we can get it done in ball games as well.
Leslie, the backup linebacker jobs on the final 53 a lot of times are about special teams as much as defense. You probably have 4 linebacker jobs covered with Levante and Quan and Danny and Bruce. What are you looking for those last 2 spots? What do you need to see in these last 2 games?
I think you hit the nail on the head, Greg. You need to be a special teams guy when it comes to that 5th and 6th linebacker. If we are able to keep 6, I think last year we went 5 a lot. So if you are one of those backup linebackers, that's where you're going to make your name at. Because our top 3 are probably the guys that are going to get the majority of the game reps, and 4, 5, and 6, you want those guys to really be core special teams guys. And if they aren't, it's going to affect your special teams, which in turn affects your team. So that's probably where they're going to make our team. And they got to be serviceable as backups at linebacker, but more importantly, or as important, they need to be very good on special teams.
Does Isaiah Fry go back to nickel now that Leonard Johnson's hurt? I know he's working outside a little bit. Is that the switch you make there?
Yeah, that's what we're going to end up having to do. We had him at corner for this last ball game, and we wanted to take a look at him there. But with Leonard being down, we got to move him back to nickel. So he'll get his reps at nickel in this ball game.
Leslie, we've seen George Johnson kind of play both sides one time or another. I know Jack Smith wasn't in the last game, but do you want to settle on who's right, who's left, who's my best 4 in this next game or so if they're all healthy?
Well, Ricky, you'd like for that to be the case, but we still have come to the conclusion that this guy's best at left, this guy's best at right, and we realize because of injury and the number of guys we may be dressing from week to week, you're probably going to have to play both right and left.
Right.
You know, we have an
Just in a
idea what
rotation
we have an idea what we think Jacquees is best at, but with our situation where you don't have that true number one guy where you say every time he lines up, you know he's going to be there, or you know, but we don't have that. So our guys need to have the flexibility to be able to play left and right. That's kind of where we are right now.
Anything else?
All right, guys.
Thanks, Leslie.
Thanks,
Coach.
Coach.
Joe McCoy.